Hi there everybody, this is Natasha Wilkinson, your independent scentsy consultant from Mount Isa, Australia. It's the 15th of October here, and if you follow along with me on my channel, you know on the 15th and the 31st of October, I like to delve into my scentsy empties, what I have been warming and what I have been using. Now, you're probably looking at this basket and thinking, your basket is normally fuller. What happened? Well, I haven't stopped my warming. I just have some bricks to talk about as well. So amongst my warming, I have been warming the holiday bricks that will be available in just a few short days, and I wanted to give you a warming review on these before they are available for purchase to the general public. As a consultant perk, we were able to pre-access these bricks before they're available to the general public. So that is why my empties bin looks a little bit more empty than normal, because while I haven't emptied my bricks out, I have been warming them. But as you can see, a brick is 5.5 times the size of a scentsy wax bar. This is the size of a wax bar. This is the size of a brick. Very big difference. So I'm going to start off with providing my warming review of the bricks first. Just move my coffee out of the way here. Always have to begin my day with a coffee or two or a few. So I am just pulling up the notes so I can tell you what's actually in what the notes of the bricks are. In case you are interested in purchasing them, they will be available to the general public on the 18th of October. You will be able to purchase them for $41 each, or you can get a 2 brick bundle for $68. So if you watched my cold review on the bricks, you would have seen me basing on cold sniff, rank them from my favourite to my least favourite. I have to say, some of these scents surprised me, and after warming them, the ranking has slightly changed. So we will talk about that as we go along in this video. I'm going to start off with my least favourite and work my way up to my favourite with my thoughts on warming with these bricks. But by no means, just because something's my least favourite doesn't mean I didn't enjoy them. I actually thought all these bricks were actually really nice scents. Not all of them were club worthy for me. Not all of them would be probably repurchases for me, but I did enjoy them all. So the first one I'm going to talk about, which is my least favourite, is Winter's Eve. And this is described as a crisp evergreen forest filled with winter white cedar, brightened by sparkling bergamot. So as you can see, I have worked my way through 2 of the cubes. And just to compare, this is the size of the cubes in a smaller wax bar. This is the size of the cubes in our brick. So 1 cube roughly would equate to roughly 4 cubes of these small ones. So to avoid a waxident, if you're one that just puts 2 cubes in your large warmers, I'd suggest cutting a cube in half. I'm a little bit overboard, and most of my dishes do say 4 cubes, so I do find one of these fits quite nicely in a 4 cube warmer. But if I am warming them in a mini warmer, I will cut one of these cubes into quarter and just use a quarter in a mini warmer, because one of these full cubes will definitely give you a waxident if you're trying to shove one of these whole cubes into a mini warmer. And if you have a larger warmer that doesn't take up to 4 cubes, that may only be a 3 cube one or have a smaller dish, then I suggest chopping a cube in half. So that's how I suggest you warm your bricks. So, pardon me. Winter's Eve is a crisp green evergreen forest filled with white cedar brightened by sparkling bergamot. I did give you this description before I went off on tangent. Now, although this is my least favourite of the lot, I didn't hate it. I will say, for me, plain tree scents without a sweet note to them, I'm typically not drawn to, and I'm typically not drawn to cologne-y scents. Now, this comes off a little bit cologne-y because of the bergamot. To my nose, when I smell something with bergamot in it, I know it's a citrus fruit, but bergamot to my nose comes off quite perfumey and quite cologne-y. But saying that, I do also, even though it comes off as a very light cologne to my nose, I do also get that, and I think it's the winter white cedar that I'm getting more than the evergreen forest. So I do get that woodsy tree note mixed with a very slight aftershave, almost cologne-y note. And actually what this reminds me of a little bit, when I warmed it. So before living in Mount Isa, we lived in New South Wales in a town called Bathurst. So for those of you who live in Australia or who follow car racing, you will know Bathurst is known for their V8 car races. And in winter there, it was very, very cold. It would drop to 0, it could drop to minus, but we didn't get the snow. We got very heavy frosts of a morning, and you would go out and you would smell that crisp, cold, frosty air mingled amongst the grass and trees. So you get like a very earthy, very sharp, sweet, crisp smell. And this reminds me of that a little bit. That's what I get from the woodsy note here. I get that crisp, earthy, sharp, frosty air mixed amongst a little bit of wood with a little bit of like a cologne shower gel or aftershave. So it's kind of like a man's just gotten out of the shower on a cold, frosty morning and has gone out and he's standing in amongst the trees on that cold, frosty, crisp morning. So it does give me a little bit of a scent memory, taking me back to winter's mornings back in New South Wales, but with a little bit of cologne added to it. So that's what I got from this one. I warmed, after making samples, I warmed a cube in the laundry area. So I found it kind of hummed in that area. It gave it that very nice, clean, fresh, crisp feel in that area. And it was perfect for that area. But it wasn't very, to me and to my nose, it wasn't very strong. So it was a little bit on the lighter side, but it was enough that I could still smell it in the air. So this would not be club worthy for me. I won't be putting it in my club to get bar size. Once these release, if you're finding maybe a brick's a bit too much of a commitment, you can put these scents in scentsy club and they will come to you in bar size. So it's not club worthy for me. When I got the consultant pack, we were able to purchase up to 2 bricks of each fragrance, which I did. So I will warm through both these bricks and enjoy them. I probably wouldn't go back and purchase another brick of that. So this is where my ranking changed. So that was my least favourite on cold sniffs. It remained my least favourite on warming. So on cold sniffs, the next one that I would have said would have been my fourth favourite, because there's 5 bricks here, would have been Icicles and Evergreen. And I had as my third favourite Frosted Petals. So after warming them, my preferences switched. So my fourth favourite now on warming is Frosted Petals. As you can see, I have gone through 3 cubes. And this one is very pretty, but the reason I have it now as my fourth favourite is it was so light. It was a very light performer. I had this forming in my bedroom, so I somehow, unless it cures a bit more on sitting, think that this would get lost in open concept area. It is very, very pretty though. So this one is described as Snowberry and White Currant Reef Jingle Bell Orchid Frosted with Sheer Musk. So that sheer musk takes on again a perfumey note. So I feel if you like scents like sugar, if you like scents like pink haze, pink sugarberry mint maybe, if you like those type of scents, you're going to like this. But this is slightly more on the floral side. So you've got that perfumey note from those scents. If you like shimmer, you'd probably like this as well. So you've got the perfumey note from those scents with an added floral note. So you get a sweet floral, you get the perfumey note on warming, but the snowberry to me also comes through. So it also kind of adds to the sweetness and gives it a slightly fruity smell. And there's almost a soapy-like smell to this as well, which is what snowberry can sometimes come across as smelling. So this is a perfect bathroom scent. It's a perfect bedroom scent. It's girly, it's perfumey, it's floral. This is one that I could see potentially warming all year round. I wouldn't necessarily call it just Christmas. I wouldn't necessarily call it winter. It's a really pretty scent that you could warm all year round, but it's just light, and that's why it kind of went as my fourth favourite, from my third favourite to my fourth favourite. If this was stronger, I would probably pick up more, to be honest with you, but because it is so light, I'm probably just going to enjoy the rest of this brick and the other brick I have, and this will probably not go into my Scentsy club and will probably not be a repurchase. So what really shocked me, now I originally had this as my fourth favourite. It is now jumped up to my third favourite, and it almost nearly went to my second favourite. So this one shocked me on how much I really enjoyed it, particularly on warming, and that was Icicles and Evergreen. As you can see, I also made my way through 3 cubes on this one. So this one is Cool Blue Eucalyptus and Pine Needle iced with crystallized sugar. Now, let me tell you why it almost made second place for me. This is something I could see warming all year round, which is why it almost made second place. Whereas my second place one is something I would probably only warm during the winter's month. So, but my second place one is a bakery, and bakery does sing to my heart, which is kind of why it stayed in second place. Saying that though, purchasing options for this might outweigh my purchasing options on my second preference. So it's a very close call between this being third and second place. So this one to me, as I said before, tree scents, plain tree scents are not my thing. If there's a fruit added to it, if there's a sweet added to it, I sometimes can fall in love. And this one I really, really did like. I can potentially see myself maybe putting this into a quarterly club and getting 3 of them a year, because I generally do skip my quarterly clubs once a year. So if I didn't skip, it would be 4 times a year. Skipping, I could generally see myself using those 3 bars a year. So I wouldn't probably put it more than a quarterly club, but I could also potentially see myself picking up another brick of this, even though I have the rest of this brick and another brick. So this is Cool Beauty Eucalyptus and Pine Needle Ice with Crystal Sugar. Pine scents often come across to my nose very harsh and very astringent, but this wasn't the case with this one. That Cool Beauty Eucalyptus gave it a sweetness and a freshness and a very vibrant smell or fragrance. And it performed beautiful in open concept areas. So that's the other reason this kind of booted frosted petals from its pedestal and took its place, because this one is also open concept worthy to me. But this isn't a harsh tree scent, so it's something I could see warming all year round, and it's something very well suited to our climate here in Australia. At Christmas time, it's hot. Here in Mount Isa, we're 50 plus degrees Celsius, usually around Christmas time. So this is not going to be a deep, earthy tree scent. That eucalyptus really adds a sweetness, adds a sharp, vibrant, fresh quality about it. This is the type of scent I could see after cleaning the house, throwing through my house to give a fresh, bright, clean smell that's not lemon. For me, lemon works well as a cleaning scent. It gives you that fresh, bright outlook. But I sometimes get bored of lemon scents as a cleaning scent, and will throw mint scents to do the same thing. So this is kind of another option for me in my reset the house, give it that fresh, clean scent. So I can really see myself actually using this brick up before the end of Christmas. So that's another reason why it probably nearly made second place, whereas the one that's in second place, to me, I probably would warm more in winter time. But I could see myself buying for this brick before the end of Christmas. So that was Icicles and Evergreen. The next one, which is second place, that almost made third place, was Caramel Chestnut. It did stay second place because bakery does really sing to my heart, to be honest with you. And when I first started as a consultant, I would have told you floral would have been my favourite fragrance category. But 2 years later, I'm finding bakery is my favourite category. I am being drawn more and more to bakery. Now, this gives me toasted acorn vibes. I feel like if you like toasted acorn and oak, you would like this one. As you can see, I went through 3 cubes of the caramel chestnut, and it is described as silky caramel and vanilla, cozy up to warm chestnut. So this is not a ooey gooey sweet caramel. That chestnut really rounds that caramel down, gives it a more earthy, nutty, warmer vibe. But the scent goes so well together. It's rich, it's warm, it's comforting, it's slightly sweet. This would go really, really well with a coffee scent. But as I said, for me, because it is a warmer bakery scent and it's got that richness from and nuttiness from the chestnut, to me, I kind of feel chestnut isn't really a thing that's here a lot in Christmas, but I could see myself really enjoying this over the winter months. So this will probably go into my Scentsy Club in my bi-monthly club, so I can enjoy it through winter, but I don't know that I'd get another brick. I will use the rest of this brick up and use the other brick I have. Potentially I could get another brick, but because it's a winter scent, if I were to choose a double pack, it would be this and another one, which I'm about to talk about in a moment. So that's why I'm thinking this is an all year rounder. I'm likely to use this up before December, so I'm thinking my money would be worth getting another brick on icicles and evergreen over caramel chestnut. Because if I'm going to go back, which I probably am going to go back and purchase a 2-pack of bricks. So if I'm going to go back, I'm feeling icicles and evergreen might be the pick over caramel chestnut. But who knows? I could go back and do a double bundle, and if that's the case, then I would probably throw that one in. So that will end up in my bi-monthly club. That's probably going to end up in my quarterly club. So let's, just because of how I warm them and what I do like better. But let's talk about my favourite. Now this was my favourite on cold sniffs and it remained my favourite. I had already warmed it when it was a whiff box exclusive in bar form in the December whiff box last year. It's going to go into my Scentsy Club, no questions asked. I am definitely going to be purchasing another brick of this one, no questions asked. As you can see, I've almost used up half of the brick already. So I have gone through 5 cubes as compared to the others where I went through 3 cubes. That is how much I love this scent. And that is maraschino sugar cookie, which is sugar cookie dough baked with vanilla and drizzled in a sweet maraschino cherry glaze. This is, if you love bakery, if you love cherry scents, you're going to love this. This is a rich, buttery, decadent sugar cookie mixed with an authentic cherry scent. It is beautiful. The cherry scent does come across a little bit sugary because I think mixed with that sugar cookie dough, so you might get a little bit of a maraschino, which is why it's called maraschino sugar cookie glaze about it. But when it's melting, to me it's a little bit more fruity. It's a little bit more authentic cherry. And these just mix so well together. For me, most bakeries I get 24 hours out of and then I have to change the wax out. And I'm not really mad about that because, as you know, I have a lot of wax and it just means I can enjoy another bakery scent. But this, I got 3 days performance out of this in my kitchen before I had to change it out. So this, to me, is a long-lasting bakery. But saying that, it transforms as it goes through the process. So when you first throw it in the warmer, or when I first throw it in the warmer, I got an equal mix of sugar cookie and that maraschino cherry. It was strong. I had it going in the kitchen, but it funneled out and it filled up my open concept area lounge room and up the hallway up to my bedroom. So This is also open concept worthy to me. But saying that, you can see I loaded my warmers up as well. So, equal mix, really, really beautiful. Day 2, I got more of the sugar cookie and less of the maraschino cherry. So a lot of that cherry had died out and I could smell just this beautiful, rich sugar cookie. Day 3, the sugar cookie died out, but I could smell a very sweet, lolly cherry-like scent. So there must have been a little bit of that cherry lingering underneath what a day out. So it was like a very syrupy cherry warming. So this just transformed and I got a mixture of all the things. I absolutely love, love, love this. Definitely purchasing another brick because as you can see, I'm already halfway through this brick. You're likely to see this whole brick in an upcoming empties before the end of Christmas, but this is going into my bi-monthly club and it is staying in my bi-monthly club so I can always have it in bar form. So that's my warming review on the bricks. So let's move on to the rest of the empties, shall we? So as usual, I will quickly start off with non-wax products. I've used up a laundry system of Amazon Rain and my scentsy club doesn't process till the 18th, which has my next laundry system in it, so I did have to go to Coles because as usual I left it to the last minute to get a replacement laundry system, so I did have to go to Coles to get a Coles laundry because although I have one in my monthly scentsy club that's due to process, it's not due to process to the 18th, and I used this up before it's even processed and delivered. So Amazon Rain is no longer available here in our catalogue in Region 3. They did discontinue it with our last catalogue. But a lot of this is still in the clearance section. I believe the small washer whiffs of Amazon Rain is still available in the clearance section. And the rest of the products, I believe the large washer whiffs have sold out from the clearance section. This is one of those scents for me. If I'm struggling, deciding what I want to warm, what I want to use, I always revert back to Amazon Rain. It has a bit of everything in it. It has a bit of citrus, it has a bit of floral, it has a bit of fresh, it has a bit of fruity, and they just complement each other really, really well. So this is kind of my go-to scent or fragrance when I don't know what I want to use or what I'm in the mood for, and I do really, really enjoyed it. This was also the first, I guess, fragrance I tried in our laundry range and made me fall in love with laundry by trying this. I do believe I got a small washer whiffs of this in actually my consultant kit when I first signed up, and after using them I was hooked. So I am quite disappointed that they did take this particular fragrance out of our laundry. I will say though, as a fragrance in laundry, it is on the lighter side compared to some of the other fragrances, which could have been why they took it out. I do smell some of the other fragrances in laundry a lot better than I do Amazon Rain. So I finished up a hand soap inside a mil. This was our original packaging size. We have since upgraded to larger sizes in our hand soap. Cider mill, I absolutely love. It's a mixture of pumpkin, apples and spice, and it is the perfect cider scent. Give me cider mill anything and I'm a happy lady. So let's talk about wax, shall we? And then we'll do, actually no. So I do have here as a reminder, and I still haven't done it. I have to get my butt into gear. So I had a customer purchase our 4 fairy tale pumpkin, and her light globe blue as soon as she popped it in her warmer. So I did give her, I always keep spare light globes on hand, so I did actually replace her light globe for her already. But I have this as a reminder just to call consultant and let them know, because they will probably send another light globe out and then she can have a spare. So I haven't done that, so I need to pop back to the side so I can do that. I mean, I can always supply her with light globes anyway, because as I said, I always have spare light globes on hand, but I still do need to do that. So I'm going to do wax, then pods, then oils. So let's, because I am going to do wax, I want to talk about because I have gone through them and I'm just trying to find the article here for you guys, because I did go through the scents of the season, which I believe will also be available soon. So I have a warming review for you on the upcoming scents of the season. So we're going to talk about the scents of the season first. Just need to find all of them. Okay. So the scents of the season will be available to purchase soon. And I'm just trying to pull up the scent notes here. So the scents of the season are going to be available on November 1st. So you'll be able to purchase the seasons from November 1st. As a consultant, we were again able to purchase 2 sets of the scents of the season. So I've done samples, I have done warming. These are all returning fragrances. So the first one, Crimson Berry Christmas. As you can see, I've gone through that. After doing my samples, I warmed the rest of this bar in my daughter's room. And this is comforting crimson berries, highlight the excitement of Christmas morning with a burst of sweet cinnamon that warms snow apple. So you do get the cinnamon in this, but it's a sweet cinnamon. And then you get the snow apple. I get cinnamon followed through by snow apple and then the berries. So you get a lot of fruity sweetness and mixed with a heavy sweet cinnamon. So, and that fruity sweetness actually makes this a scent that's, while it's heavy on the cinnamon, it's not one of those scents. Now I don't want to say warm because it does still come across warm, but it's not one of those scents that is heavy or rich or just wintry. This is a perfect Christmas scent for here in Australia, because for those that still like spice, they can still get the spice, but those that like the more fruity, summery vibe, you're still getting that from the snow apple and you're still getting that from the cinnamon. It's very sweet. And I forgot how much I actually enjoyed this on warming. So this really pairs well with an oil I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. Now, I remember contemplating when it came out in 2020 as our Home for the Holidays collection, popping it in my club, but I didn't because I had a lot of other apple and spice scents. But saying that, this is not heavy apple and spice scent. This is sweet apple and spice and a lot of berries. So it is quite different. It is a lot more lolly sweet. So this is probably going to make its way into my quarterly club, even though it's probably more a wintry scent, but this is something I would like to warm every Christmas. So I'm probably going to put it in my quarterly club. I don't know I'd warm it all year round, even though I'd enjoy it through winter. But at Christmas time, I could definitely see myself going through 3 bars at Christmas time. So if I were to pop this in a quarterly club, I would get exactly 3 bars before Christmas comes, because I do plan my quarterly club ships this month. So I'm not going to, well, it's not available to November to put into club for a start, but I would be skipping my January shipment because that's where it's really hot and a lot of my wax comes a little bit melty. So I'm planning on skipping December, January, February shipments in any of my clubs because of that being the hottest time of the year for us here. So I would get this again in April, January, February, March, April. So I get this again in April, July, August and October. So I would get 3 bars of this again in time for Christmas to enjoy 3 bars at Christmas. So that one's definitely club worthy for me. So the next one we're going to talk about is salted caramel toffee. So for those of you who want rich, gooey, sticky caramel toffee, decadent and clean, this is the scent for you. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful mixer, but it is rich, ooey gooey, sticky, chewy caramel toffee. Not teeth achingly sweet. It's so good though. I love this one in the kitchen. As I said, it's a great mixer. So if you are finding it rich, you could tone it down with something like toasted marshmallow to give it a little bit more of a smoky or... This will be going back into my club. I did have it in my club for a short period of time, but then I took it out because I wasn't reaching for it much. So that's probably going to go back into my bi-monthly club. Whether it stays in my bi-monthly club will depend on how much I reach for it. So if you liked Gimme Candy, if you love caramel scents, if you liked toffee butter crunch, you are going to love salted caramel toffee. And it's described as the sweet scent of salted caramel takes melted toffee to butterscotch. So out of the scent of the season, these two were the club-worthy ones for me. Salted caramel toffee was probably my favourite. Crimson Berry Christmas was probably my second favourite out of the 4. This was from when it was in my scentsy club. I still have my original ones from this sense of the season. So the next one, which would be my third favourite. Now, this is probably not club worthy for me though, is Vanilla Mint. And I know this was a favourite for a lot of people when it was available in our catalogue. And that is Wintergreen Frost, Sparkles Over Vanilla and Frozen Citrus. On cold, I absolutely love this. But that frozen citrus note gives it a bit of a sharp, astringent note to my nose. That isn't always my favourite. So this isn't a sweet mint scent. It's a very sharp mint scent is the best I can describe this. So if you like very crisp, sharp, minty scents, you are going to love this. I have this warming in my laundry at the moment. So I kind of feel this needs more vanilla for my nose to smooth it out. I like more butterminty, candy cane, sweeter minty scents. But if you're more into those sharper, crisper minty scents, you're really going to love vanilla mint. So this is probably not going to go into my club. I'm not sure if I'll get a couple more because I do want to experiment with a couple of sweet notes just to see what I can create from this. So I could potentially pick up 1 or 2 more of vanilla mint, but definitely not club worthy for me. And the one that I definitely won't be picking up more of, and that is definitely not club worthy for me, is Happy Holidays, which is festive golden pear mingles with clove and holiday pine to bring joy to the season. So I didn't like it when it first came out. I don't really like it now. I feel if you are a tree lover, you may potentially enjoy this, but it's a very spicy tree scent. It's very sharp, it's very astringent, and it's very deep. Now, my issue with this, I love that they're bringing back older scents for people to try. But I do have an issue with Happy Holidays, and that is that we still have the pods in our clearance section, and until very recently we still had Happy Holidays in bar form in our clearance section for people to buy and try. So they have sold out since then of the bar. It's coming back the 1st of November, so if you missed out, you can still try it. And I know you can't put scents from the clearance section into Scentsy Club, so if you missed out putting it into Scentsy Club, you will get a chance now to put it into Scentsy Club. But to me, the fact that it has been in the clearance section for months and months and months on end, to me is an indication that I'm not the only one that isn't the biggest fan of this particular scent. So I kind of thought they could have chosen something that wasn't already in the clearance section. Maybe Scentsy had a whole heap of oils for this that they had to use up. I do not know. But why choose something that's already available in the clearance section that has been in the clearance section for ages? I kind of take that as an indication it's not a very popular scent. They could have gone back into the archives and picked something else out that we previously had that wasn't in the clearance section. Or my other thought is there are scents in Region 1 that they've brought to us in body and itty bitty buddies that I could potentially see being perfect Christmas scents for Australia here. Something like Winterberry Apple Tea, something like Dancing Sugar Plums, something like Caramel Apple Craze. These are scents that I think would sell really, really well here in Australia. They've got that fruity vibe, a little bit of spice, but not overwhelmingly spicy, so they will still do really well in a summer Christmas here. Or Caramel Apple Craze. It doesn't have spice, but it's fruity, it's bakery, I just think scents that would do well for a Christmas collection here in Australia. They're already making those scents there in Region 1, so it would be nice to bring some of those scents here for our region to try. So that's kind of my thoughts on this process, or pull something out like cocoa mint, chocolate cocoa mint, whatever it was called, marshmallow mint. Pull something else out of the archives that we've had as a scent before, or a Christmas scent that hasn't been sitting around in the clearance forever. So that was my warming review on the Scents of the Season collection. So you'll be able to purchase them. You can purchase them individually for $10 each from the 1st of November, or you will be able to get a Scents of the Season bundle for $34, which will include all 4 seasons in a bundle. So that is the Scents of the Season bundle. Let's move on to the rest of my empties, shall we? So Harry Potter Wizarding World. So this went into my bedroom. It's currently in my club, but I don't know if it's going to stay in my club. So Harry Potter Wizarding World is described as if I can just find it. Just ignore the dog barking outside. She's decided she's going to be noisy. So Harry Potter Wizarding World is described as sparkling citrus, and green apple illuminate mahogany woods, while vanilla and a touch of amber add warmth and charm. I read vanilla, I read amber, I thought I was going to be in love. Anything with vanilla and amber I usually love. I kind of had this image of a warm spice, what I would imagine the castle at Hogwarts is smelling. But I think I'm smelling more the mahogany woods than anything, as it comes across cologne-y. It was very nice, but this is kind of one I think I'd purchase a few bars of to enjoy, not one that I would keep in my scentsy club. There are just a lot of scents I feel that is similar to this. I feel though if you like masculine, if you like cologne, you're going to love Harry Potter Wizarding World. My thing is though, and this is just my mind, so I grew up on Harry Potter. I would line up. I was in university when she was writing the books and they were being released each year. So, and I lived on campus on university. I would ditch class for the day that the next book was being released, line up outside that bookstore, purchase that book, and then spend all day reading that book from cover to end. I'd get through that $600, $800 pages of Harry Potter by that first day that I purchased it. So, and then I started obviously watching the movies when they came out. So Harry Potter is my thing. When I smell this, it doesn't remind, as pretty as it is, I don't think Harry Potter Wizarding World, I don't think the Harry Potter castles. What comes to mind when I smell this is 50 Shades of Grey. So I kind of feel this would be suited to the 50 Shades of Grey movies, the 50 Shades of Grey books, because it's masculine, cologne-y, mysterious, is kind of what I'm getting from this. As I said, not Scentsy Club worthy for me, so I'm probably going to end up taking it out of my club, but I do want a couple of more bars. So whether I purchase a couple of more bars while they're still available, or stock up through Scentsy Club for a couple of rounds, because it is in my bi-monthly club, and then take it out, I do not know. So the next one, Warm Pumpkin Drizzle. So this is this month's scent of the month. This one is in my Scentsy Club. It will stay in my Scentsy Club. I will probably, as the weather starts to heat up, just stock up what's in my Scentsy Club, even though it's going to stay in my Scentsy Club, and keep it more towards the wintry months. But this is rich, it's warm, it's sweet, it's bakery. So you get the sweet baked pumpkin, and then you get that drizzle of maple. I absolutely love this one. So definitely club worthy for me. Definitely a purchase for me. So the next one. So I'm just trying to see if there's any more current scents available. Yes. So Hocus Pocus. So this is also currently available. So I warmed this in the kitchen. No, I warmed this in the lounge room open concept area. Sorry. So the scent notes on this are Sanderson Sisters Perfectly Wicked Hocus Pocus Bar, take enchanted blackberry and black plum, add forbidden cherry and a splash of spiced vanilla, then stir thrice to leave them spellbound. On cold, I'm not the biggest fan of this. The cherry in this smells a little bit artificial, a little bit reminding me of those glazed cherries that you pop into cocktails or chop up and put into a fruit cake. That's kind of what I get from the cherry note on cold in this. But when this was warming, I enjoyed it a lot more. More of that plum and more of that blackberry came through, and the softness of the vanilla. So this was quite enjoyable on warming. I will say though, being in my open concept area, it did get lost a little bit. So with just the 1 bar, normally in my open concept area, if I'm warming scents like these, I will throw 2 bars through my open concept area so you can actually smell it. So it's either going to need 2 bars in an open concept area, or I'm going to have to take this bar and warm it in a smaller area like a bedroom for my house. So it is currently in my club. My thoughts on this. So I haven't quite decided whether it's going to stay in my club yet or not. I feel like I need to warm this a little bit more to make up my mind on this one. But I normally really love plum scents, and we don't get many cherry scents, so, but I'm not the biggest fan of glazed cherry. So although I didn't get much of that glazed cherry when it was warming, it was a little nicer when warming. But as I said, it did get lost a little bit, so I'm going to have to warm it somewhere where I can smell it better on warming before I make up my full mind on Hocus Pocus, whether that is staying in my club or not. So, blackberry spice. So, I had a couple of cubes left. Those couple of cubes filled up my open concept area very well. So this one is open concept worthy. It is very deep, rich and spicy. This is in our new collection, and I do believe it's actually in the spice section of our catalogue, which is good. And I'm happy about that because it gives us 2 spice scents to choose from instead of 1. So it's ripe blackberry bundled with cedarwood and fresh clove. So I definitely get that spiced clove, and I get the very deep, heavy, rich blackberry when I warm that. Would it be a repurchase for me? I didn't hate it. If it came in a whiff box or something, I'd enjoy it. But I think it was missing a little bit of sweetness with the spice. I love spice scents. I love deep earthy scents. But I also like them to have a little bit of sweetness. I kind of would have liked to see maybe a little bit of cinnamon sugar or a little bit of vanilla, maybe just to add a little bit of the smooth, round it out a little bit, is kind of what my thought process was on blackberry spice. But this could be a really good mixer, so I may end up purchasing more to mix with one of those sweeter scents, because I could see that working very well, or working really well with a bakery to get like a blackberry spice cake. That would be really good. Mix it with vanilla bean, buttercream, crumb top. I can see the potential with that particular bar. So the next one that is also available in the catalogue is Velvet Moon. So I had this going in my bedroom, and might be easier just to type it in to bring up the scent notes for you guys rather than scrolling. So, Velvet Moon is soft vanilla flower, white mask, glow behind a silky layer of foggy mist. This is beautiful. Now, again, another one that I warm in my bedroom over open concept because of the strength of this. But that vanilla flower is floral, but it's perfumey. It's a perfect bedroom scent. And the musk also adds to that sweet, perfumey note. It is absolutely pretty, and I enjoyed it for all of the 2 hours I had it going in my bedroom. And it's not that it fuzzed out, it's not that there was anything wrong with this scent. It's that 2 of my cats decided, yes, we're going to go ballistic, we're going to jump on things, and we're going to smash your warmer where you're warming your velvet moon. So rest in peace, my lovely warmer. I will pop a picture up here just to show you the damage they did. But for 2 hours I put it on, and then 2 hours later my cats decided they were going to destroy that on me. Oh well, I will get another bar, definitely a repurchase for me. And as I said, I did enjoy it for the short amount of time I got to enjoy it before the cats decided I wasn't allowed to enjoy it. So there, I think there's only one more in here that is a current catalogue scent, and I am going to talk about it with a scent that's not a current catalogue scent because I did it as a mixture. So I did, now for me, Hug in a Mug is in my Scentsy Club. I have it come monthly because I absolutely love this scent. But for me, I was reaching for it more in winter than I was in summer because it is a rich, hot chocolate scent. And that's what I'm getting, rich, warm, gooey, hot chocolate when I warm this. But Melissa Johnson Haight, she, in one of her melted mixes, talked about a, I'll just have a bit of my coffee because it's getting cold here. She talked about a little bit of a mix that was suggested to her through one of her melted mixes that she tried, where she did a Neapolitan ice cream mix, and it included Hug in a Mug, a vanilla bean buttercream. Now I will talk about the label on my vanilla bean buttercream in a second, and I think they did sugared strawberry there to get the strawberry note. So the suggestions she suggested for the strawberry rum we don't get here in Australia. I did contemplate Angel Experiment 636, which I do have in my Scentsy Club, but I had none on hand, and that particular shipment that has that one in actually doesn't come to this month, and I kind of wanted to try that Neapolitan type mix before then. So I did take a strawberry ice cream scent from a vendor wax to do this mix. You will hear more about my impressions on that strawberry vendor wax later on. But I've got the Hug in a Mug and the vanilla bean buttercream here. So this took to me what would normally be a wintry scent for me, elevated it into a summer bakery scent that I absolutely loved. It kind of added a creaminess and a brightness to this, and that would be a definite remix for me again. It was absolutely beautiful. Now, if you're wondering why my vanilla bean buttercream has a strange label on it, so we will be getting a collection soon for Christmas inspired by vanilla bean buttercream of different mix-it scenarios. There's 4 scents, so the base of those scents are going to be vanilla bean buttercream with other scents. You will see my impressions on them later. But I run out of my normal vanilla, so well, it's not normal because this is exactly the same scent, vanilla bean buttercream. But I ran out of my vanilla bean buttercreams that had the catalogue label on it, and because we got a set of that new set, inspiration set, at reunion, I just used the vanilla buttercream from that set. So I will be keeping this because I still will be doing a review. Vanilla bean buttercream is in our catalogue. It is fantastic. You can still get vanilla bean buttercream. It's just when this collection rolls out, you'll be able to choose from either the catalogue or get the collection with the Scentspirations label on it. So that was the mix I did in the kitchen. Also in the kitchen, I warmed through a bar of my banana berry. As you can see, it's getting a little bit hotter here, so I am reaching for some more of my summery scents. This is a banana pudding to me. On cold, I get candied bananas and strawberries and cream is what I smell on cold. But there's just, when it warms, you get rich, sweet banana pudding. It's creamy, it's beautiful, perfect bakery summer scent for summer, but it's not long lasting. I get probably half a day out of this before this is gone. I will sometimes warm this in my daughter's room and get a full day's performance in my daughter's room. I have said a few times in my daughter's room, performance in her room, there's something about the lighter scents that perform really well and amp their strength up. So this is also on the light side, but I do also enjoy it in my kitchen just for the morning where I can enjoy it. So that is in my scentsy club. It's likely to stay in my scentsy club for a little bit because we don't get very many banana scents. So let's talk about my summer. I am slowly transitioning into summer and I was in the mood for really summery scents. In the open concept area, I finished off my bar of Lush Gardenia that I took away with us to Townsville. This is one of my favourite scents. Kicking myself that I took it out of my scentsy club because it's no longer available. I still have, I think, 2 or maybe 3, possibly 2, I think, bars left. If you love floral, you're going to love Lush Gardenia. So many consultants describe this as heavy hitting, powdery floral. It is heavy hitting, it is strong. I get a creaminess and I get a very exotic note, and I think Melissa Johnson Haight is the only one that also describes that creaminess. This takes me back to an authentic gardenia smell. It smells like the gardenia flower. It smells like my grandmother's double gardenia tree she had outside her kitchen window. So it just brings all those memories flooding back for me. Absolutely love this. I do kind of use what bars I have sparingly now. I will warm one in summer as I'm ready to start my summer scents. So this is, you're ready to start warming summer. Once you warm this, you know you want summer scents. So that's just so I can extend the bars I have. So at the same time as warming that, now I forgot I had these. So when the catalogue, this spring, summer, what are we? Are we autumn, winter now? So when the, not this catalogue, the last catalogue first released, one of my market events, I did samples. And it was probably the silliest thing I did because they melted. So going forward, market events, if I do samples, I do felt samples. Being outdoors, they melted and I ended up with gooey mess. But I didn't want to waste the samples I did, even though they were not in any condition to give to anyone. So I had them in the fridge for a while and forgot they were in there. So in the bathroom and laundry, I finished off the 4 samples of the ooey gooey mess I had of coconuts for coconuts. So this also has a tiare flower, which is also a gardenia flower, and then it's got that exotic coconut. So because the laundry comes off the open concept lounge room area, the combination of that and Lush Gardenia was beautiful. And then in my daughter's room, I did the 4 samples of pineapple and mango. So again, keeping in with the fruity, tropical vibe, summery vibe. So in the boys' room, I did kiwi fruit. So this was from, not the flash sale we just had, because obviously that hasn't shipped yet, but the flash sale we had before that. So this is fruity, but it's powdery floral. This to me is more powdery than Lush Gardenia. Lush Gardenia is heavy in your face floral, yes, but I get a very powdered floral with kiwi fruit, and then a little bit of that sweetness from the kiwi fruit with that. It was nice. Probably wouldn't be a repurchase for me, but I did enjoy it while I had it. So they are the bars that I went through. So let's talk about some pods, shall we? So I think I already talked about this one last empties. I had one little pod left from Iridescent Pearl. The other one was is in the, I don't know if it still is, I have to check the car. So one was in the mini fan diffuser in the car, and I still had one floating, so I just whacked it in Pooh Bear's diffuser or fan diffuser that you can see behind me there to get rid of that. So Sparkling Magnolia is currently going in the fan diffuser, I think in the bathroom. Very fresh, bright, floral scent from my Mother's Day collection, no longer available. So I've just taken out of the air purifier in our bedroom vanilla bourbon. There's still a little bit of scent for this, but there's not enough for it to throw through the fan diffusers or the purifier. So this is probably just going to go in one of our sock drawers or one of our linen cupboards or something like that to live the rest of its life out. It's a very spicy scent. You get a lot of cinnamon and spice and that type of thing. So very masculine, spicy scent, vanilla bourbon. And I have changed that out in the air purifier in the bedroom to pink sugarberry mint. As I said, I'm ready for more summery scents, and in my bedroom in summer I like to warm a lot of those cotton candy, fairy floss, perfumey scents, plumeria peach, sweet florals. So this is a perfect pod to complement those type of scents that I will probably be going forward to warming in wax in the bedroom. So they're the pods that I have gotten through the last 2 weeks, and I've only gotten, well, I haven't finished this, but I've been diffusing probably one oil in the last 2 weeks, so I need to get on my diffusing game, and that is cinnamon cherry vanilla. This, you can hear the baby, I do apologise. This is beautiful with maraschino sugar cookies. So I was diffusing that while I was warming maraschino sugar cookie. Absolutely love the combination. It also goes really well with the Crimson Berry Christmas from the Scents of the Season. I will say though, I think this one is no longer available. So I've got one or two, I think, of these bottles left. This one and I think another bottle left that I stocked up when they were discontinuing it, because this was probably the first, I'd say, oil I brought full size that wasn't from the consultant kits and fell in love with. But I go through stages with warming this. While I warm it, or I should say not warm, diffuse. I go through stages of diffusing this. When I diffuse it, I will go like ham on diffusing it. So as you can see, that's why it's the only one in there. And then I will stop for months on end, diffuse other things, and then come back to this. But it is definitely one of my favourite oils to diffuse. So, and that is what I have got through the past 2 weeks. And even though it was a smaller empties, I still have been jabbering on for an hour. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to speaking to you again. Until then, stay safe and bye for now.